time, but nonetheless, I'm very excited to lead this meeting. So welcome for those, this is your first time. This is pretty much a very good community of people who strive to be better in their methods of communication. So it's going to be a very good meeting. Before we begin, I just want to introduce some of the roles that we're going to be playing. So for our grammarian, we have Mike Bui. Can you please tell us what you'll be doing?
Hi, I'm Mike Boo. I'm the grammarian today, so I'm just going to check all of your guys' grammar. So if you have run-on sentences, misplaced words, stuff like that.
Perfect. And then next, we have as our awe counter, Nguyen. Could you please stand and tell us what you'll be doing?
Hi, I'm Nguyen, the odd counter. I will be basically counting filler words such as and so like
Perfect. And last but not least, we have our timer, our president Tyler.
Alright, so I'll be the timer. Everything in Toastmasters is timed. So if you have a certain speech, green will mean that you hit the minimum time. Yellow means that you're in the middle and you're going to be halfway of your total allotted time. And then red means you should probably wrap it up, because that means you have hit the maximum amount of time. We won't cut you off, but this means you should probably wrap up. But thank you.
Tyler. So here at Toastmasters, we value your time. We don't want to waste it. We want to make the most of it. So without further ado, we're going to introduce our very first speaker. This is her 7th speech, and it is called Retail Psychology 101. Please welcome Sarena.
Thank you, Doctor. I never noticed the lights automatically turn off.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Is there a clicker?
Oh, I got you.
Listening to USB port. Should be good to go.
Alright, hi guys, my name is Sarena, and as some of you guys may know, I study psychology. And the great thing about psychology is that it can be applied to nearly every aspect of your life. And so what I'm going to be telling you guys today is how psychology relates to purchases. We all know that companies out there want to maximize the margin of profit that they make. And because of that, I'm going to start off with an easy example to show you guys how companies trick you into buying things that you don't need, or how they try to maximize their appeal in your eyes. So here's an easy example. Gas here is $3.09, right? Regular gas is $3.09. But actually, it's $3.10, because look at that, 9/10 of a penny. So just like gas here is actually $3.10, in a lot of retail stores, prices will end in 99 cents. And you probably think this is pretty dumb, because we're smarter than that. We know that these purchases, like say an item is $4.99, we know that's $5. But a lot of people, they might actually think it's $4. Red and yellow are the primary colors of fast food industry logos. And the reason for this is because red is a color that stimulates hunger in you, and then yellow is a color that stimulates friendliness and happiness in you. So combined, red and yellow create the sense of urgency for you to go into the store, grab something to eat, and then come back out. And according to a color consultant, the color yellow is actually the most visible color in sunlight, which explains why the McDonald's sign can always be seen from so far away. Let's take a walk through a grocery store. So you walk into the grocery store, and you see produce and you see flowers. And so these two items give you the sense that this grocery store is very natural and fresh. And that is an environment that a lot of grocery stores want to create. Next, we have, well, you walk into the store a little bit, and you come to a bakery. And the bakery emits all these great aromas, and you start to become hungry because you smell all of these things. When you are hungry, you actually end up buying more at the grocery store. So we talked about these two senses. We talked about your sight, we talked about your smell, but grocery stores also appeal to your sense of hearing. And other avenues such as restaurants or department stores also do this. According to the American Marketing Association, customers that go to stores with music spend 34% more time in those stores than they do with stores without music. So you keep going to the store, and you think about what you actually need. Things like eggs, milk, bread, they are always located in the back of the store. And so the reason for this is because grocery stores want you to walk through all of the aisles, because the more aisles that you walk through, the more things you will take into your grocery cart. And as you're walking through these aisles, there's this concept called triangular balance, which means that as you're walking through these aisles, you are looking and looking, you're looking at the middle of the aisles, you're looking eye level. And so what companies do is that they place the most profitable items at eye level. And this is a fun fact. Even for kids, the most profitable items are placed at the kids' eye level. And then so you keep walking through the aisles, and you come upon these things. There's actually a name for this in retail business called end caps. And what end caps are these displays of products that are very profitable, and companies actually pay a very high price for you to put the products at end caps, because these generate impulse buying. How many of you guys have heard of pink tax? Okay. All right. I'm relating to the one other female in this room. All right, I saw a couple maybes here and there. All right, so what pink tax is basically a product that is sold in the store that is put in two different variations. So you could have the same exact product, but it is placed in pink packaging, and it is placed in blue packaging. It is placed in feminine packaging, it is placed in masculine packaging. And these prices are not the same. And this is another example as well. So next time you go to a store and you look through the health aisle, you look at the beauty products, take a look and see if you notice any difference in the prices. I thought this was an interesting example because I looked for Bic for her on Amazon, and then I looked for Bic for him, but there was no Bic for him. All right, and then the last thing I want to tell you guys about is this concept that Israeli researchers termed as anchoring. And what anchoring is this phenomenon that companies want you to see an original price, a high price, and fixate your mind on it. And then what you also see is this lower price. And so when you know that a product should be at a certain price, for example, $25, and then you see the lower price, hopefully lower than $24.99, that increases your chances of buying the product because you know it's on sale. There's also a lot of samples given out in stores, so this contributes to the idea of reciprocity. A lot of stores will give you something in exchange for your service or your time, and you'll want to go back to that store again. And I hope you guys learned something about how retail stores or your local grocery store can try to trick you into buying more products, but now you guys know all the tricks of the trade. Thank you.
I'm not sure I can do this, so I'll let you do that. Awesome. So that was a wonderful speech. If you could please take the time to fill out.
Sorry. I don't want to ruin the surprise, my bad.
Don't look.
Don't look.
Yeah, just take the time, 30 seconds to 45 seconds, filling out that ballot, giving Sarena some tips on what you can do better, but also positive feedback of what you liked.
You can turn it off. There should be.
Oh, and also, our word of the day, I forgot to say that, is adjudicate. It means to make an official decision about who is right. And if you say that, you'll get snaps.
You demonstrate this.
Do we have someone to collect the ballots?
Yeah. Triple jaw.
And you can just pass it all down to the center aisles, and Tyler will collect them for us. So this next speaker is, I would say, a great man. He's the very first person I met at Toastmasters. He's worked very hard on this speech, I know, suffering from a flu-like symptom. I'm not sure if he actually had the flu over the week, but his speech is called Visualize It. So for 5 to 7 minutes, please give your full attention to Onur.
Have you ever wanted to get better at something, to be the best, but you didn't quite know where to start? Let me share with you a recent experience that might help shed some light to this answer. My roommates are gamers, as am I, and they got Smash the second it came out, the night it came out. And we've been playing it ever since. We have a setup on our projector. Now, as Victor mentioned, I did have the flu this past week, so I had a few days where I was in bed all day. And backtracking a bit to Smash. Sorry about that. So we all play casually, and it's a lot of fun. And my roommates are really good at it. They know the moves, they know the combos, they can get it down. Me, I'm a button masher. Mash some buttons, hope something works out. Every now and then I do something cool, and it's like, whoa, nice job. But most of the time, it's just them knocking me off the map, or me falling off the map unintentionally, but it looks like it's intentional. And so, there was one day, Wednesday night, I was in bed all day, and I was feeling very feverish, and so I took my shot of NyQuil for the night, and I was ready to pass out. And as I was lying in bed, I heard my roommates get on, sit down on the couch, turn on the projector, and I heard the familiar da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, and so on and so on. And in my feverish state of mind, I began to imagine a game. Now, this is the craziest thing that's ever happened to me, right? I'm playing as my favorite character, Ike, hands down, best. And I'm facing a CPU, or whatever character it was, I don't remember. But I'm fighting this person, and everything is in slow motion. I mean, I would do a move. One of Ike's moves is his upbeat. He takes the sword, tosses it up, it's spinning, teleports to it, grabs it, and smashes down. And if the sword connects, the opponent goes up and smacks down with it. So I did this in my mind, but it was all in slow motion. I would press upbeat, the sword would spin, the computer gets caught, then I teleport up there, come down, and crash down. And it didn't stop there. It just kept going. I visualized an entire match like this. There was one point where we're fighting, and he goes to punch me, and I press R2 and I block. And then instantly, I do my little dash around, get behind him, grab him, and then toss him to the other side off the map. Now, all this takes about less than a second in real life. But in my state of mind, it took almost, it felt like 20, 30 seconds, half a minute. All this was very slow. And I woke up the next day, and I felt a lot better, thankfully. And I thought, that was interesting. I think I'm gonna play a game, see if I'm not any better. And I played a game, and I noticed, wow, my character's doing what I want it to do. I can actually control it. And the more I played throughout that day, I played a lot of games that day, because I was taken back by how good I was. And it was getting easier and easier to be like I was in my dream or hallucination, whatever you'll call it, the night before. And I didn't realize it then, but after reflecting upon it, I found a little secret that I had unintentionally done to help me. I wanted to get better at Smash. I wanted to be a better player, because I was surrounded by better players. And I'd seen them play so many times. I'd seen their moves. I had taken the time to think about what kind of player I wanted to be and what I had to do to be that good. It was completely unintentional, but I thought about every action I had to make. I had to do side B. I had to press R2 to shield. I had to do this to dash, and all of that. And the time I visualized it, I kind of set a goal for myself. I set a place that I wanted to go to. And from there, it was a matter of just honing my skills and getting there. I'm not quite there yet, but I've made significant progress. And so, this worked in this situation because of a variety of factors. Now, just internally visualizing it might not always work for everyone, for other skills and such, like, for example, for golf. I don't know the first thing about golf, but if I were to think about how to swing a putt, I probably wouldn't know what to do. So one other thing that could help you guys is you could visualize it externally. You could watch a video of a professional, and similar to my fevered state of mind, you could watch it in slow motion perhaps, and watch every slight thing the professional does. Perhaps he has his back arched a little bit when he shoots. Maybe when he puts the ball, he leans slightly to the right. I don't know. Don't take golf advice from me. I don't know anything about it. But those little things they do, if you pick up on those and then go out and practice it yourself, you'll make more progress significantly faster. And so, what I hope you guys take away from all this is not to have a shot of NyQuil if you want to get good at something. No. If you're ever lost and you don't know where to go, take the time to visualize, to imagine where you want to be. Or if you can't, watch someone else who is at the level you want to be at and strive to be like them and hone your skills from there. Thank you.
Wow, that made me think how awful I am at Smash. I'm definitely a button smasher too, and I'm always the first one to fall off the map and die. So yeah, please fill out the ballots, give him the things that you liked about his speech and maybe some pointers that he could work on. We're going to do that for about 30 seconds and move forward from here. Our next speaker has prepared an amazing talk. He actually got back to me pretty late about it, but no hard feelings there. It's about how 1 in a billion odds weren't good enough. So here is Ryan presenting his speech, 1 in a billion. Give it up.
1964, a woman was robbed in Los Angeles. A couple was arrested and charged with the crime. And the prosecution mathematically reasoned that there was a 1 in a billion chance that that couple was innocent. But they weren't convicted with the crime. Probability is not always what it seems. So, what really happened on that day was about the middle of the day, Mrs. Juanita Brooks was out shopping. She was walking back to her car, and she had her groceries in her purse. And she got knocked to the ground. Her purse was stolen. She looks up to find out, to see a young woman who was white with a blonde ponytail running from the scene. There was another witness who saw the crime. He noticed the white woman jump into a car. The car was yellow with a white top. The car drove around. He got a good look at the driver. It was a black man with a beard and a mustache. Other witnesses at the crime also corroborated all these details. So the cops were out looking for this couple, this interracial couple. One day a cop sees a yellow car with a white top parked outside a house. He goes up, knocks on the door. A couple answers. It's a white woman with a blonde ponytail and a black man with a beard and a mustache. So he arrests them on the spot, and they're charged with robbery. So now let's go to court. They're being prosecuted, and the prosecution doesn't have much of a case because none of the witnesses are able to identify these suspects out of a lineup. So what the prosecution does is takes probabilities to try to prosecute, to try to convict. It turns out only 1 in 4 black men have a mustache. Only 1 in 10 have a beard. Only 1 in 3 white women are blonde. 1 in 10 have a ponytail. Only 1 in 10 cars reasonably fit this description, being yellow with a white top. And at the time, only 1 in 1,000 couples were interracial. So, in probability, you can multiply all these events, and you get the number 1 in 12 million. So that's 1 in 12 million odds that this couple just happened to fit all those criteria. It's pretty guilty. And these were estimates that the prosecution considered pretty conservative. In fact, he put the odds that this couple was innocent at 1 in a billion. So how did they beat 1 in a billion odds? Well, at that rate, the jury was convinced. They convicted the couple, but it was appealed. They went to the Supreme Court in California. They had to adjudicate the case. And so the Supreme Court found an error in the calculations. Because in probability, you can only multiply 2 events if they're independent, meaning they don't affect each other. But if someone has a mustache, they're much more likely to also have a beard. So if you take that error out, 1 in 12 million becomes 1 in a million. And this is how the defense won the case. 1 in a million odds. Because 1 in a million odds, what that really means is if you take a random couple from the area, there's a 1 in 1 million chance that they fit all those criteria. But that's not what's relevant. What's relevant is this the couple that committed the crime? In the LA area at the time, there was about 2 to 3 million people. So statistically speaking, that's 2 or 3 couples that fit this criteria. All of a sudden, 1 in a million becomes 1 in 2 or 1 in 3. In other words, the odds this couple committed the crime are only 50%, or 33%, which is by no means beyond a reasonable doubt to convict them. So, in reality, statistics are not what they seem, because 1 in a billion odds might just be 1 in a million, or it might just be 1 in 2. Thank you.
Thank you,
my goodness, I was on the seat of my chair the entire time. I had to make sure I was not going to fall off. I never was good at math, but thank you so much for that.